So today we'll see few more methods that are available and which we are kept as pending, and we'll discuss each one of that and understand where we are going to use that. So as part of today's session, I would like to start with the first method called as starts with. Okay. So this method is used to identify whether user given string is starting with specific word or not. Okay. Say suppose I want to verify if my string is if my error message is starting with a word called a word called error. I need to check that whether my string is starting with a word called error or not. Okay, we oftenly do that when we do a Selenium automation or when we do your API testing, right? We'll be getting the responses from the APIs, we'll be getting the messages like error, right? So only if that is going to be starting with the error, I want to go for my text comparison, else I would not like to go for my text comparison. In such cases, we'll be using your starts with method. Okay, so the input is going to be a string, the output is going to be a boolean. The output is always going to be a boolean. So the syntax is going to be look like string dot starts with. Okay, so this is going to give you a boolean value. So let me go and create a new method called with starts with. Okay, so I have my data equal to error unable to fetch the values from the database, right? So now I need to compare whether my error message is starting with the word error or not. Okay, so print data dot starts with the word called error. Run this, I'll be getting the output as true. Why? Because my message is starting with my error. Similarly, there is another method called as ends with. Okay, this method is to verify whether the user given string is ending with specific word or not. Say suppose I want to verify in the error message, or I want to verify in my message, right, is ending with a word called successfully. For every message I need to verify whether the word successfully is coming in the ending or not. Okay, so what will happen? It will take the same input as a string, output as a boolean value, and the syntax is going to be called as ends with. Okay, so now let us go here and write a one more method called as ends with. Data equal to user details saved successfully. I have a message like this. I need to verify whether the user details are saved successfully or not. Okay. So now what I want to do here is just go and write print of data dot ends with the word called successfully. Right. Now run this. You'll be getting as a true. If it is not going to end with any other value, right? It is going to end with any other value, then I'm going to get a boolean value as false. There is one more method called as swap cases, right? So there is one more method called as swap cases. What it is going to do? So this method, right? So this method is used to convert the user given string uppercase letters to lowercase letters. Okay. So if the string is going to have any other thing, right? If it is going to have upper, if it is going to have lower, right? That will swap the cases. So input is going to be string and the output is also going to be a string always. So the method name is called as swap cases. Okay, the syntax is going to be string dot string variable dot swap cases. So let us see that swap cases. Name is Pratap. Okay. Now what happened here is if I use my data dot swap case, right? Let me go and print this. Run this. Now what happened? Wherever there is a capitals, that will be converted into small. Wherever there is a small, that will convert into capitals. So to do your cases swapping, right, we'll be using your swap case. So next we'll see about a process concept called slicing concept, guys. It's not a method, it's a concept. It's a concept, not a method. Okay. So this is the process of fetching sequence of characters on the given source string. This is the process of fetching sequence of characters on the source string. Okay. Specify the starting index. Specify the length of characters. Specify the length of characters. Okay. By colon separation. By colon separation. Okay. Remember that index will starts with 0, length will starts from 1. Okay, the syntax of applying slicing is string square brackets starting index colon length of characters. Yes, be with me, listen carefully. Okay, so this method, this approach in other programming languages, we call it as substring. So in Java, there is a direct method called substring. In our C# we have direct method called substring, but in Python we don't have a method called substring. So we need to go with your array representation. We have to tell the starting position, ending position, right? Ending position nothing but the length of characters. So based upon that, we can able to fetch the sequence of characters. Now let us see how we can able to apply your slicing on a string. So I'm going to create a file called string slicing. So I have a data as I'm learning Python for my automation process. Okay. Now I want to fetch first three characters that are available here. I want to fetch first three characters that are available here. See here, data, square brackets, starting index. Okay. So I need to tell my what is my starting index. So from first position 0th index, get length of three characters. Get length of three characters. So how to find the length of three characters here? See now. So length is going to be start from 1, right? Count of 1. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now what will happen? Every time if when you give a length, right, what it will do? It will go and search from starting index, starting position. So from there it will start counting your 1. Okay. Even if you are going to give any number in this position, right, in the index position, it will go and search from the index number 0 only again. Okay. So now let us see what is going to be happen if I'm going to give as 3. Now let me run this. Yes, I got I am. Okay. So let me remove this such that will be have a big word. If I run here, see now what will happen? I can able to see the first three characters available here. Now in place of 0, I'm going to keep the number as 1. The number as 1. So now the starting position is going to be shift from 0 to 1. So it will take the consideration of E. Now what is the length? We have given as a 3. Now again go and count the starting position 1, 2, 3. So now what will happen? Index is starting from 0, 1, and length is going to be ended 3. So now from here it will count the length of 3. So I'll be getting the numbers as 2 only. EA. If I'm going to give the starting position as 2. So what will happen? 0, 1, 2. Okay, the length again 1, 2, 3. So what is the third character? 3. What is the starting index? 3, 2. Okay. So now I'll be getting only one character. So remember that it should be always the length of characters must be greater than your index number. Then only you can able to get a sequence of characters. Okay. So now like this we can able to crop any string. We can able to crop any string with a to get sequence of characters, to get your sequence of characters. Next method is alphanumeric. We call it as ALNUM. Is alphanumeric. There should not be any space. We should go with directly. Okay. So now this method is used to verify if the string is purely alpha numeric or not. It's purely alpha numeric or not. So input is going to be what? String. Output is going to get as what? A boolean, right? The syntax is going to be like string dot is alpha numeric. String dot is alpha numeric. So let's go and see. Okay. So now I have data is equal to select AP26. Okay. Now I need to verify print data dot is alpha numeric. Now what happened here? I have it as true because I have alphabets as well as a number also. Okay. Now I'll be giving as AP here. But still why I got it? Because alphanumeric means going to be like I can have only alphabets, I can have only numbers, I can have both combination of alphabets and numerics also. Okay. It does not mean that should I have only numerics. Should not have only meaning of having only alphabets. Okay, so it can be both. So that we are going to get it as a true. Okay, remember that in interviews they're going to be confusing you giving such kind of questions. So they'll be putting only with you alphabets and they'll be asking what is the output of this particular method, right? So just try to understand that the output is going to be always a true. Next one is digit. Okay, is digit. So this method is to verify if the string is having pure pure digits. Okay, so input is going to be string, output is going to be boolean, and the method name is string dot is digit. Okay, so now I have a Python file called as is digit. So I have data equal to 1462. Okay, now I need to compare whether the string is a data dot is digit. Now what happened? I'll be getting as true. I'll be getting as true. So if the same case, if I give it as a here and check it out, I'll get as a false because it is not a. It will verify only the numbers that are ranging between 0 to 9. No alphabets. No alphabets is going to be encouraged here. So similarly, there is one more method is also available here called as is decimals. Is decimals. So this method is also going to be work as same as with your is digit only. Okay. So what is the next method called as is decimals. Okay, so now this is also going to be work as same as your is digit only, but the difference I'll tell you. There is a small difference available. So is decimal can work on Unicodes, guys. It can work on Unicodes. So for every key there will be list of Unicodes available. There will be list of Unicodes available. So is decimal. If you try to give your Unicodes also, Unicodes such as like backward slash u, okay, 0033, such kind of things are going to be called as your Unicodes, which is very hard to remember for us, right? So we are not going to remember this and we're not going to implement anywhere, but I'm telling you the difference. Is decimal have tendency to go and compare on your Unicodes also. Okay, but is digital is going to take the pure numbers only, but the both are doing the same operation. Unicodes and is decimal, right? They're going to compare the numbers that are falling in between the range of 0 to 9. So similarly, there is another method called as alpha. Is alpha. So this method returns if all the characters are available in the range of small a to small z. Small a to small z. Okay. So now let us check that whether I'm going to get that. So not small a to small a. The characters are ranging between a to z. Okay. So let us see that how that method is going to work out. So what is the next method? Is going to be called as is alpha. Okay, so what is the output of this method? What is the purpose of this method? So this method is to verify if the string is having alphabets. If the string is going to be having your alphabets. Okay, what it will do? It will return true if all the characters are alphabets. If all the characters are alphabets, okay, which is going to be available as A to Z. Okay, so now this is going to give me input as a string, output is going to be boolean. The method is alpha. Method is going to be called as is alpha. Now going to be called as is alpha. Now data is equal to, I have learned Python. Now I'll be using my print of data dot is alpha. I'll be getting as true. Why? Only it should have A to Z characters, no special characters. No special characters are going to be encouraged. Okay. So Pratap, in case these special characters, I'm going to keep a numberman, then what will happen? So as strictly it is mentioned that it should be purely on A to Z. Okay. No 0 to 9, no special characters. Okay. Only if the characters are available in the capital format or smaller case, right? It should be in between small. It should be in between A to Z only. 0 to 9 are not encouraged to have. No special characters are allowed. Okay. So this is about your is alpha method. Okay. So now there is one more method is also available called as is numeric. Is numeric. Okay. So what is this is numeric is also going to do? This is also going to work as same as your is digit only, guys. This is also going to work as same as is digit only. So let us see about that. Is numeric. So this method is also verify if the string is having pure digits. Also, if the string have exponential format, exponents like squares, cubes, etc. Okay, it has tendency to check whether that is a numeric or not. Okay, so going to be a string, output is going to be boolean. The method name is going to be called as is numeric. So is decimal, Unicodes are having tendencies. Okay, is numeric, pure 0 to 9, and when there is the exponential formats, if you want to check, right, then we can able to use your is numeric. Okay, so Pratap, where I'm going to get this? So sometimes, right, when you see your Excel, if you're trying to give a bigger number in your Excel, you'll be getting the exponential forms. So 0009 E1009, something like a format is going to be displayed on your Excel. Okay, so we'll be getting very oftenly in such cases, right, to check whether that is a numeric or not, you can able to use your is numeric. So now let us check that is numeric method and its implementation. So I'm going to use my data is equal to as 59875. So print data dot is numeric. It is a pure numeric. So next see that what is the method called art. So this method is used to get the ASCII values of the user given character. So if the user is going to give any character, right, for each and every character there will be ASCII value available, guys. For all the keys that are available on a keyboard, right, will be having a ASCII value. So to get that ASCII value, right, we are going to use the method called odd. Okay, so the input is going to be called as your character. The output is going to be called as your integer. So the method is going to be called as odd of, just pass your character here. Just pass your character here. So now let us see about your ordinals. Okay. Now I want to print ORD of capital A. So capital A is going to start with your 65. See here, 65. So now at the same time, I want to get the ASCII value of capital Z. So I got it 90. So in interview, right, they will ask you without using your uppercase and lowercase, try to filter out your capital letters and small letters on the given string. In such cases, we'll be using your ordinals only. Okay. So there is another method called as CHR. There is another method called as CHR. So what is the purpose of this method? So this method is used to get the character format of the given numeric value. If I going to give any numeric value, for that numeric value, what is the character available, right? So to get that, we'll be using your character CHR. So input is going to be a numeric, output is going to be a character. So syntax is going to be available as CHR of numeric value. So now let us see that. So print of, let me comment out these two. Print of CHR of 90. Okay, now what should I get? If it is going to 90, I should get it as capital Z. So this is the way how to get a numeric value, how to get the character value for a given numeric. For a given numeric. Let us see the other method called as strip. Strip, L strip, R strip. Okay. All these methods are used to work on spaces available on the source string at the starting and at the ending position. In the starting position and at my ending position, only to work on the spaces, guys. Okay, so now we'll see that. So strip, what it will do here is strip. Okay, remove spaces at the starting and at ending of the given source string. Starting and at the ending of my source string. So L strip, right? What it will do? Remove spaces only at the left side. Okay. R strip is nothing but remove spaces only at the right side. You have to remove your spaces only at your right side, not at your left side. Okay. Now let us see that using your strip. Strip is very much important, right? We'll be using very oftenly. Okay. So data is equal to, I have the word like India here, and I got a lot of space in starting and my ending. Okay. So now let me use my length of data that I'm going to give here. Let me use length of data that I'm going to give here. So this is going to be available as before strip. So before strip, I'm going to get my data here. So as I'm going to get a string, right, what I'll do, I'll be converted into my string. So now after that, what I'm going to do here is data equal to data dot strip. Now again, what I'll do here is I'm going to get the total length after stripping. Okay. So now what I'll do, I will keep it as after strip. Now see the difference. Before stripping, I have 71, and after stripping, I have the length of the string as 5. What happened now? It has been removed. It has been removed the spaces available in the starting and at my ending position. Okay, so that is the necessity of using your strip. So if I'm going to use my L strip alone, what will happen? Now it will remove the spaces only at my left side, not at my right side. Okay, if I use my R strip only on the right hand side, the spaces are going to be get removed. Okay, so this is the case we'll be using your stripping. So jet fill. So recently I used this in my project. Okay, so this method is going to be used. This method is used to fill zeros. Used to fill zeros at the beginning of the string. At the beginning of the string. Okay, so it is going to fill the zeros until how much? Until the length given by the user. Length given by the user. So now the syntax is going to be look like. The syntax is going to be look like string dot get fill of give the length guys. Give the length of zeros. Then what will happen? Before the given number, it will fill the zeros. So now when I'm doing my Kafka live stream data processing, right? There are some cases where I want to use some fixed bit lengths. Okay, so in such cases, I have been used this. Recently, I used this, and I'm going to show you the example of this, how we are going to use that. In the testing purpose, I don't think we'll be getting a come across this method, but in the development phase, we'll be getting definitely. So I have data equal to as 50 guys. I have the data equal to as 50. Data is equal to as 50. Now what I'll do, right? Print of data dot get fill of I want to insert 6 zeros guys. So now what happened? People used to think that it is going to be completely 6 zeros. That is wrong. Now count here. Length of 6 until the length is going to be reached. That's what I told you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this 2 plus 4 zeros will be get included. If you are going to give 8, right? So how many zeros will we get now? 6 zeros are going to be get inserted now. Run it. Now see. So 6 zeros excluding these 2. The length of character how much you have given, right? It will exclude it. If I'm going to give it as 503, now it will exclude out of length 8. It is going to exclude 3 and it is going to fill 5 zeros. See, that's what. So that is the purpose of using your jet fill. So these are the pretty much very much important methods that we will be using your strings. Okay. Now we have learned many methods. So where I'm going to use these methods? Where I'm going to use these methods? So my question is very simple. As a QA engineer, where I am going to use these methods, right? So use in your Selenium data validation, right? So use in your database and application validations, right? Everywhere in your checkpoint, right? We'll use your string manipulations. We'll be using your string manipulations. So now it is the time for us to know how do we implement in the real time, guys. We just learned the methods. We came across each and every method. What is the input of a method? What is the output of a method? Right? How to use a method? What is the syntax of the method? We just understand it. But do we know that where are you going to use this in real time? So that is time. This is the time, right, to understand and implement your logic case. So try to learn how to write your technically, logically the methods implementation in your process. Okay, we'll see that now. So before that, I want to give 5 tips, guys. 5 tips to write logics on strings. So what is my first statement? The first tip is understand the problem statement. Understand the problem statement clearly. You go and read your problem statement multiple times. Just don't go and write your logic just like that. So understand your problem statement clearly. Raise your question. Voice should be important, guys. Raise your question. Make your doubts to be clear. Unless until you are not clear with the questions, right, don't go forward. Okay. Then second thing is very much important. Observe what you want to achieve. So what is your goal? Understand your problem statement and think that what is your goal. Separate it. Third one, see how the data is available on the source string. Observe it clearly, keenly, properly. See where exactly your data, required data is available on the source string. It is available in the middle. It is available in the last. It is available in the starting. Is there any characters available before and after of my string? You have to think in n dimension, right? That's what the job of a QA. You have to test your application all the possible ways. So here also, when you want to get any data from the string, observe it clearly, how exactly it is surrounded, right? Fourth one, if there is any unique character available to fetch the data, right? Use the unique character and try to get it, else insert a unique character to get the data. Okay, so before this, right, I want to tell you, yeah, this one only. Now I want to tell you one more point here, the fourth point. See what method will help you to get the data from the string. We have learned multiple methods, right? You have to know which method is going to help you to get the data from the string. Then while doing that, just check out this fifth point and see if there is any unique character available to fetch the data. If there is a unique character available, use that character and try to get the data. Else what you want to do, right? You have to insert your unique character there. So go and insert your unique character and try to get the data. Okay.
Can you explain the fifth point, Pratap?
Yeah. So now if I want to get some number from a string man, so to get the string, the number before the string, right? Is there any delimiter available? Instead of telling unique characters, take it as delimiter. If there is a delimiter, then go and use the delimiter and try to get the data. Always try to avoid character by character traversing. Okay. So now what you want to do? If there is unique character available, just go and use that unique character and try to fetch the data. We'll see the example, then we'll understand the fifth point very much. So let us take the problem statements. The first problem statement. I have a string as my transaction data is 1089. Get the numeric from the given source string. Conditions is very much interesting to give the conditions. Is telling that do not split the string. Don't split the string using split method. Using your split method, right? He is very much cautious, telling that don't use your split method and don't try to get the number. But still, I want to get my. But still, what I want to do, I want to get my number. So, step number one, what you want to do there? Understand the problem statement clearly. So, what is the problem statement? He have a string, and out of the string, he want to get the number. Okay, so that is what his problem statement is. I got it. Now observe what you want to achieve. What I want to achieve? I want to fetch my numeric part. So that is also clear. From the given string, get the numeric part. From the given string, get the numeric part. Third point, see how the data is available on the source string. See how the data is available on the source string. Observe clearly. There is a colon available. There is a colon available. After my colon, there is a number. There is a colon available here. And after my colon, there is my number available. Where it is going to be end till last of my string. So now, from this position to this position, I want to get the data. But what this guy told? He is telling that I am not supposed to use which method? Split method. If they allow me to use the split method, what I'll do, right? I'll be going there and I can able to implement my split method, breaking my string with my colon. But this guy is very much eager, telling that not to use split method anyway. So now what I want to do? So now see what method will help you to get the data from the string. So now what happened here? I observed clearly, carefully, and I found that there is a special character called colon available on my source string. Fine, that is happy for me. Now using that unique character, what I'm going to achieve? I want to get my number. So what are the methods I have? What are the methods I have to fetch the data? Right? To fetch the data. So now what I want to do here is, first my algorithm is going to be look like this. Get the position of colon, guys. Get the position of your colon. Right? And what I'll do? Save it in a variable. Go ahead and save it in a variable, no matter. Right? Now, so what I want to do there, from that position, I want to get the data. Okay? So now what I'll do, right? Get the position of this colon and add +1 to it and save it in a variable. Why I'm going to add +1? Because my numbers are getting started after my colon. My numbers are going to get started after my colon. Now, second one is, I already told you that if I want to get sequence of characters, if I want to get stream of characters, the method, not method, the process, the concept called as slicing. Use slicing. Okay. So tell the starting position. Tell the starting position as step number 1. What are the position you're going to get? Tell the step number 1, comma. Ending position as the length of whole string. The length of whole string. So just go and use your length of whole string, because I don't know what is the number of characters that is going to get end. Here I may get this number also. I want to get the entire numeric. So this entire numeric last number is going to be called as your length. Total length of the string is going to be available at the ending of the number called 7. So now using this concept, I'm going to fetch my number. So let me take the same number here, same string. Let me go to my strings here and see here. I'm going to create a new package and I'm going to make it as examples. Okay. So now let me create a new Python file called as string concept 1. Now I'm going to use my data equal to this. Now what I want to do, I want to get my start position is equal to data dot find. What is the method I want to use? Find. Yesterday I told you about the find method. This method is going to get the index position of user given character. What is the user given character here? Colon. Then I'm going to use my +1, right? End position is equal to len of data. Len of data. Now let me go and use my print of data of square brackets, which is going to call as splicing, right? So I'll be using my start colon, and I can able to use my end. That's it. I got my total number that is available. But unfortunate, I can able to see a space there. So how to remove the space? How to remove the space? Just now we told that strip. So use your strip so that you won't get the space also. See now, there is no more space available, and I can able to fetch my number. So these kind of validations are very much oftenly get in your QA process, guys. Right? I got my number outside. This is very easy. Okay. So this is very simple example that we have been seen today. It's very simple example that we have been seen today. Now let us take another example and see how we can able to do a lot more betterment on this process. So I have another problem statement. I have a string. S the voucher number 10896 is generated successfully. The voucher number 1086 is generated successfully. So write at least two solutions to get a numeric from the string. Note, numeric will get change all the time, either with number or with positions. Either with number or with positions. Right? So now, how can I get this? In my earlier example, if I go and see, like, my logic is very much understand here, very much clear. The step number 1, understand the problem statement clearly. Yes, I'm very much good with that. Step number 2, observe what you want to achieve. Yes, I'm very much good in that. What I want to achieve there, I want to get the number. See how the data is available on the source string. There is no scope here because he is very much telling that the data is going to be jump its positions, and moreover the length of the data is going to be differ. First it may have 2 numbers, or it may have 3 numbers, or it may have 15 numbers. We don't know that. There is no position also. So now if you go and see the 5th point, if there is unique character available, no Pratap, there is no unique character available. But all is telling that he want to get the number, and he's telling that write at least 2 ways, 2 solutions. So now what I want to do here is the first solution. Observe carefully first. That's what again I'm telling you that. See if there is a unique character available to fetch the data, use that unique character and try to get it. Else insert a unique character to get the data. In my given source string, the unique character that I'm going to call it as, right? I'll be call it as a split with space, because we have multiple spaces, right? What I'll do, I'll split it, then I'll be getting a list of elements available. Then what I will do here is I will use my is numeric method, and I'll check whether the user given character is number or not. If it is a number, I will store it, else I will defer it. Okay, so then we'll go and start implementing it. So first my algorithm is going to be look like how? Algorithm is, what I want to do, split the string with spaces and store it in a list. Now what I want to do here is iterate each word using your for loop and check if the word is numeric or not, right? Using the method called is numeric. The method called is numeric. These two steps are going to help me to get the data. So let me go here and try to write my second example here. So let me take the same data here. Data equal to this. Now what I want to do here is I'm going to get words equal to data dot split with my spaces. Now what I'll be getting individual words. Now for word in words, right? If word dot is numeric, if it is going to be numeric, then what I'll do, I'll be using my print of word. Now no matter if I'm going to remove this number anywhere, and if I give a bigger number also, no matter, I'll be getting the bigger number. So this is one of the way where I'm going to get, right? So we have a senior split method, right? We understand it. Now we came to know that. So we have used is numeric. We came to know about is numeric. Now what happened? I started using combination of both two methods and I make my logic to be get completed. So this is my approach number one, right? Now approach number two. What I want to do here. So now what I'll do, right? There is no any other way to go and get the numbers, right? So what I'll do, I'll get each and every character and I will check whether the character is a number or not. And I'll check whether the character is a number or not. If it is a number, I'll store it, else I defer it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a temporary variable, the empty one here. Now what I'll do is for X in data. So now what will happen? I can able to pull each and every character by character from the source string. Now what I'll do here, I'm going to use my if X dot is digit. Wait. Yeah. If X dot is digit, right? If it is digit, right? Then what I'll do here is, then I'll store temp equal to temp plus str of X. Now what happened here? I'm going to use my print of temp. Print of temp. So in this way, right, what we'll do, we can able to extract your numbers and you can able to print your numbers. So this is my second way approach to get the numbers from the given string.